Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah has become Namibia's first female president after she emerged victorious in the African country's recently held presidential elections. With a reputation for being the steady hand within the ruling party SWAPO, the 72-year-old leader has been a known face in the country's politics. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah has carved her place in history, as Namibia's first female president after she emerged victorious in the African country's recently held presidential elections. The 72-year-old leader from the ruling Southwest Africa People's Organization, SWAPO, clinched success as official results showed her getting 57% of the votes, defying predictions that she might be forced into a runoff in what was one of the country's most fiercely contested polls. But beyond her historic achievement, her presidency will mark a major step towards gender equality in Namibia. What challenges await her, and how will she shape the nation's future? Here's a closer look. From activist to president. Nandi-Ndaitwah's journey began as a 15-year-old young activist in Namibia's liberation movement. She joined the SWAPO-led resistance against South African rule, which had continued since World War I and was responsible for the implementation of apartheid in the country. According to her official biography, Nandi-Ndaitwah's activism led to her detention during student protests, after which she fled into exile, and continued to work with SWAPO in Zambia and Tanzania. Like many African political activists, she completed her education in the former Soviet Union and later earned a postgraduate degree in the United Kingdom. Her leadership in SWAPO's Youth League was pivotal and paved the way for her ascent in politics, eventually securing her a place in every national assembly since Namibia's independence. Over the years, she held key ministerial positions, including in women's welfare, environment, tourism, and foreign affairs. Her reputation for integrity has set her apart from many in her party, as noted by political analyst Rachel Andreas, who described her as a unifying figure within SWAPO. She is a stateswoman. She has been in some form of leadership since we gained independence, Reuters quoted Andreas. In March 2023, then-President Hage Geingob nominated Nandi-Ndaitwah as SWAPO's presidential candidate. Following his death earlier this year, she became the country's first female vice president. Nangolo Mbumba served as president temporarily but did not contest the election. A controversial election victory. Namibia's presidential election was marked by significant disputes, with nearly 15 political parties vying for power, making it the most competitive since independence. However, the election day was marred by technical glitches, including shortages of ballot papers and other issues, causing election officials to extend voting for 3 days in some parts of the country. Some opposition parties tried to stop the count as voting continued and criticized the Election Commission's directive as an illegal move. After the results were declared on Tuesday, SWAPO emerged the winner with a majority on 51 out of 96 elected National Assembly seats. Ndemupelila Netumbo and his Independent Patriots for Change, which was founded in 2020 by a group of politicians who left SWAPO, won second place, with 20 seats. 13 other opposition parties shared the rest. However, the opposition leader Netumbo refused to accept the results and alleged electoral malpractice. This election has violated the very tenets of our Electoral Act. Namibians deserve the right to choose their leaders freely and fairly, not through a rigged process, he was quoted by AP as saying. As a consequence, most of the opposition parties now intend to challenge the results in court, the Namibian newspaper reported. On the other hand, Nandi-Ndaitwah, in a brief speech after the results, said Namibians had voted for peace, stability, and youth empowerment. What's next for Nandi-Ndaitwah? Despite her groundbreaking win, Nandi-Ndaitwah faces significant challenges as Namibia's president. With over 40% of the 1.4 million registered voters under 35, tackling youth unemployment currently at the high of 19% is an urgent priority. Troubled with government finances and corruption concerns, the country also battles a severe housing shortage, as most land is in the hands of wealthy and politically connected elites. Many see it as the government's failure to make land ownership affordable. Though the World Bank classifies Namibia as an upper-middle-income country, it also remains one of the most unequal economies globally. Managing these issues while restoring public trust will test Nandi-Ndaitwah's leadership in the years ahead. Ms. Nandi-Ndaitwah is known as a dedicated SWAPO loyalist who joined the party at the age of 14 and was part of an underground independence movement against South African rule in Namibia in the 1970s, which was responsible for the implementation of apartheid. Her leadership in SWAPO's Youth League laid the foundation for her political rise, eventually earning her ministerial positions in foreign affairs, tourism, child welfare, and information. She was promoted to vice president in February after President Hage Geingob died while in office and will become the fifth president of Namibia after independence. Her victory as the first female president of Namibia adds her to the exclusive club with Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan. She, however, took office through constitutional succession and not a popular vote. Ndemupelila Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, born October 29, 1952, is a Namibian politician who became president-elect of Namibia after winning the presidential election on December 3, 2024. She is scheduled to be Namibia's fifth president and the first woman to hold this position. She is serving as third vice president of Namibia since February 2024. She was also SWAPO's first female presidential candidate for the 2024 Namibian general election. In 2017, Nandi-Ndaitwah was elected vice president of SWAPO, the first woman to serve in that position. Nandi-Ndaitwah previously served as the deputy prime minister of Namibia from 2015 to 2024, Minister of International Relations and Cooperation from December 2012 to 2015, and as Minister of Environment and Tourism from March 2010 to December 2012. She is a longtime member of the National Assembly. Early life and education. Netumbo Nandi was born on October 29, 1952 to Justina Nekoto Shajikanandi and Petrus Nandi at Onamutai, Southwest Africa, today near the border of Ahangwena region and Oshana region, Namibia. Her father was an Anglican clergyman. She was the ninth of 13 children. Ndaitwah was educated at St. Mary's Mission in Odaibo. Nandi-Ndaitwah went into exile in 1974 and joined SWAPO members in Zambia. She worked at the SWAPO headquarters in Lusaka from 1974 to 1975 and attended a course at the Lenin Higher Komsomol School in the Soviet Union from 1975 until 1976. She graduated with a diploma in the work and practice of the Communist Youth Movement. In 1987 she obtained a postgraduate diploma in public administration and management from the Glasgow College of Technology, in the United Kingdom, and in 1988 a further postgraduate diploma, in international relations, from Keele University, also in the UK. In 1989 Nandi-Ndaitwah obtained a master's degree in diplomatic studies, also from Keele University. Political career. Nandi-Ndaitwah became the SWAPO deputy representative in Zambia from 1976 until 1978 and the chief representative in Zambia from 1978 to 1980. From 1980 until 1986, she was the SWAPO chief representative in East Africa, based at Dar es Salaam. She was a member of the SWAPO Central Committee from 1976 to 1986 and the Namibian National Women's Organization, NNN, president from 1991 to 1994. She has been a member of the National Assembly of Namibia since 1990. She was Deputy Minister of International Relations and Cooperation from 1990 to 1996 and first gained ministerial status in 1996 as Director General of Women's Affairs in the Office of the President, where she served until 2000. In 2000 she was promoted to Minister and given the Women Affairs and Child Welfare portfolio. From 2005 to 2010, she was the Minister of Information and Broadcasting in Namibia's cabinet. She subsequently served as Minister of Environment and Tourism until a major cabinet reshuffle in December 2012, in which she was appointed Minister of Foreign Affairs, a portfolio since renamed to International Relations and Cooperation. Under President Hage Geingob, Nandi-Ndaitwah was appointed as Deputy Prime Minister of Namibia in March 2015, while serving in parallel as Minister of International Relations and Cooperation. Nandi-Ndaitwah sits both on SWAPO's Central Committee and the Politburo. She is also the party's Secretary for Information and Mobilization and as such, is one of SWAPO's main spokespeople. In March 2023, President Geingob named Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah as SWAPO's presidential candidate in the 2024 Namibian general election. Following Geingob's death in February 2024, Nandi-Ndaitwah was appointed vice president, succeeding Nangolo Mbumba, who became president. She is the first woman serving in that role. She was elected president in the general election held in November, making her the first woman to hold the position. On December 3, 2024, she was officially declared the president-elect of the Republic of Namibia. Nandi-Ndaitwah received 683,560 votes, 58.7%, making her the first woman to win a Namibian presidential election. She will be inaugurated on March 21, 2025 and will become the first Namibian female president in history. Personal life. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah is married to Epaphras Denga Ndaitwah, former chief of the Namibian Defense Force. Her interests lie in children's community work and reading. Awards. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah was awarded the Thought Leadership at the Namibia Sustainable Development Awards. Nandi-Ndaitwah was recognized with an Intergenerational Leadership Award at the 2024 Nala Feminist, NALAFEM, Summit. She further holds an honorary doctorate from the University of Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Thank you for watching this video.